Hey, you guys are coming back to the channel. It's G as always, bringing you guys movie news, man. So, in this video, I'm going to talk about a couple things that are happening or going to happen for the DCU. You know, as we know, at the current state, we have Lanterns, Supergirl, Clayface coming up this upcoming year, and from what we know of it so far is that Lanterns was going to be the next project released in the early stages of 2026. Well, today that is not the case, and this has been a show that I'm extremely excited for. They say that it's going to be a true detective-esque type of story, and I really like the sound of that. You know, with an older Hal Gordon, a younger Jon Stewart, and it does take, and it's going to take periods. It's going to take time. You know, it's going to happen over time. So it's just not going to be one story, one timeline. It's going to be multiple timelines. It's going to be a lot of things going on. Coming of age, I'm thinking, like a true detective, right? Where it shows them working on a case, and then they, of course, come back to this case so many years later. Well, unfortunately for us, rumor has it that Lanterns will be delayed for 2026. Now, it's still going to come out in 2026, but however, they did make a shift. So this comes actually from Collider here. It says, bad news for DC fans. HBO has announced that Lanterns TV series will be releasing sooner than expected. While the show will still scheduled for 2026, a new release date will be announced later. Lanterns was first announced in 2024. Movie Web actually reported that the announcement was made during HBO's presentation in New York when HBO's Casey Bloyd confirmed that Lanterns is eyeing an end of summer 2026 debut, meaning that it is no longer going to come out around the same time as Supergirl, which is scheduled to hit theaters in June of 2026. So, what it looks like, they're going to be releasing this after Supergirl. I wonder what that is about. Maybe they just want to just clean up things, or is it meant for the bigger purpose? You know, is Lanterns, something happens in Lanterns, it's gonna be key for us to know after Supergirl. But I mean, to be honest with you, this is kind of disappointing. I was really looking forward to Lanterns coming out in the beginning of the year. It's actually one of the better things I think that they have announced for the DCU. I thought that was an interesting concept, right? A Green Lantern movie didn't work last time we did it, you know, even with Ryan Reynolds attached to it. But with this go around, they decided, you know what, hey, we're going to make it an HBO series. We're going to have an older, grittier, you know, Hal Gordon, and then we're going to go with the route of Jon Stewart. And, you know, my anticipation is Jon Stewart will be the main Green Lantern in the DCU, and played by aaronpierre. I mean, come on. You're not going to get better casting than that, I feel. So, Lanterns is going to be delayed. Now, the Lantern series, just things that we know about it so far, it is going to contain 8 episodes. It will be a part of course, DC's Chapter 1 of Gods and Monsters. Lanterns also will bring back Nathan Fillion as his role as Guy Gardner. Got Ulrich Thompson as Sinestro. Fantastic casting. Kelly MacDonald, Garrett Dillahunt, Nicole Ari Parker, and of course is going to be the showrunner for this DC series is Chris Mundy. Who, of course, is known for True Detective, Criminal Minds, Ozark, and Cold Case as well. So, it's disappointing, man. This is disappointing because, you know, I felt like the DC has a good head of steam. I believe most people did enjoy Peacemaker Season 2, except for a few things. But most people can agree they did not like the season finale. Season finale was okay. I thought it did introduce a lot of good elements, especially things that are going to play a key part in the future, right? Especially Salvation. Checkmate's going to play a part. So those are a few things that they set up I thought were key, you know, but it did not live up to the expectation that what we were expecting. You know, those people were expecting like a cameo. I wasn't going so far to think of a cameo per se, but I did want a little bit more, something to get us more pumped up for Man of Tomorrow. Maybe like a Superman show up or something crazy happens. But, hey, with Salvation being introduced, and then we got, of course, leading into Man of Tomorrow. It's going to be pretty interesting. Why they're doing this, but I'm trusting James Gunn, man. I'm trusting James Gunn on this. I'm excited for Lanterns, and I hate that I gotta wait a little bit more to watch it, but it's coming out after Supergirl, which I'm not too mad about, and I'm excited for Supergirl as well. So, what do you guys think of this down below? Let me know in the comments, man. Are you excited for Lanterns? What do you think about this being pushed back? It's kind of piss you off a little bit like it does me. Go ahead and let me know down below. So that was the first thing that we were going to talk about for the DCU, but we got some other things that are coming into fruition, which, to be honest, man, I am really, really excited about. All right, so this one is it's a bit of a rumor, okay? But James Gunn did make in his announcement a few years ago when he was talking about the DCU, and people were wondering, like, hey, are we gonna, Jason Momoa gonna come back as Aquaman? Are people gonna come back as the same characters? Is Ezra Miller gonna be the Flash? Right? These were a lot of the questions that people had after James Gunn took over. Now, James Gunn had a very good answer for this, and he said that some things will change, some things might stay the same. And I was kind of curious about that. And I'm like, well, Henry Cavill's not going to stay as Superman. We knew that. Ben Affleck's not going to be Batman. Jason Momoa as Aquaman was kind of, right? Or Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman. We were like, it's very possible, right? Especially those are iconic roles that those two actors are really known for. Especially Gal Gadot. I mean, she's Wonder Woman. It's probably one of her biggest projects that she's ever done is Wonder Woman. And I thought she fit the bill very well. She did a great job. Those movies were, the first one was really good, but the second one was, but rumor has it that a character that we actually might be staying the same and showing up in James Gunn's DCU is going to be Pierce Brosnan as Dr. Fate. Now, Pierce Brosnan first arrived as Dr. Fate in Black Adam. Now, Black Adam was The Rock's attempt to, I guess, insert himself when it comes to the DCU, and I felt like he was trying to take hold of the DCU, and he was going to, of course, Black Adam, who's like a dream character of his to play. You even got the cameo of Henry Cavill coming back as Superman. I'm sure we all remember that. We were like, holy smokes, what do they got going on here? Now, Black Adam was okay. It didn't hit the mark, truly. It just didn't hit the mark. The Rock was good as the character, but there were some characters that showed up in this movie that I thought were really awesome and really good casting, right? And the main one was Dr. Fate. Dr. Fate in the comics is such a cool and badass character. And the fact that they went and got Pierce Brosnan to play this character, and Pierce Brosnan, which he didn't have a huge part in the movie, but the part that he was in, you were like, oh yeah, he stole the screen. And his portrayal of Dr. Fate was awesome. I mean, that was one of the key components of that movie, and one of the things that they did get right was Pierce Brosnan as Dr. Fate. So, based on this report here, okay, this is from MovieWeb, and it says that Pierce Brosnan hints that he might return as Dr. Fate in Man of Tomorrow. But is this true, or is this as a game of telephone being played with information getting lost in the shuffle? So the legendary James Gunn, the legendary James Bond actor played Dr. Fate in 2022's Black Adam, a film starring, of course, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. The fallout of the fight superhero efforts led to James Gunn and Peter Safran being appointed head of DC Studios, and ultimately the slate being wiped clean for the DCU. Speaking with GQ, Brosnan hinted that he might appear as Dr. Fate in Man of Tomorrow, saying, "I've heard that Dr. Fate was going to have his own show or his own movie. I've heard that he's going to be in the next Superman. he's also talked about playing Dr. Fate and replies in the role saying, I've enjoyed that philosophy of that character very much, and I would definitely be open to it. Meanwhile, DCUdios James Gunn took the threads and said, my opinion is I've never heard of a Dr. Fate rumor. Okay. So take that as what you will, but it would be interesting if we do get a Dr. Fate. I think that this movie, Man of Tomorrow, is going to be... It's not going to necessarily be like an Avengers where we're going to get all these heroes show up, but this is James Gunn continuing to build the world. I mean, and the fact that Man of Tomorrow, it's going to be him and Lex Luthor teaming up against Brainiac. And, if anybody knows Brainiac is a huge foe, an arch enemy, I guess you could say, in the comics. So, the fact that maybe a Dr. Fate does show up would be pretty interesting, but I think that's pretty cool news, man. What do you guys think of a possible Dr. Fate appearance in Man of Tomorrow? Or heck, what do you even think of Pierce Brosnan as Dr. Fate? Did you like his portrayal in Black Adam? What do you think about him coming back possibly for Man of Tomorrow? Hell, they even said in this article his own show or his own movie, maybe not his own movie, but a show at Dr. Fate. That is pretty interesting, man. So let me know what you think down in the comments below. So that's the first rumor out the way when it comes to, possible characters arriving in Man of Tomorrow. Well, based on this other article that I have here, we probably got some more characters that are going to be arriving in Man of Tomorrow. So curious to see what they're going to do and when it goes in this go around. Now, as I mentioned, we all thought, a lot of us were thinking maybe Gal Gadot continues as Wonder Woman. So with this next one, it says we might get an appearance for Wonder Woman in Man of Tomorrow as well. Now, of course, Wonder Woman is one of the DC's Trinity, right? She is one of the three main components of the DC universe, DC Comics, along with, of course, Superman and Batman. Those being, of course, the big three. So it's only inevitable that we're going to eventually get a Wonder Woman. We're going to eventually get a Batman. When? God only knows. I know us fans are anxious enough to have it. But, so of course, comes from Nexus Point News, is reporting that a new female hero is being cast for Man of Tomorrow. The report describes a character as being in her late 20s and having an edge to her. The production is seeking a tall actress, as a character described as being a warrior and having a strong physique. It's not confirmed if the casting is referring to Wonder Woman, but the description not only fits the bill, but lines up with Gunn's comment about prioritizing the iconic DC superhero. So based on that, and I'm not going to definitely tie too much in the article because they're going to, of course, go into other things as well. But we're just based on that there, right? We're looking for a taller actress with the description being a warrior and having a strong physique. Now, based on those two characteristics, right, any hero is going to be considered a warrior-esque, right? Having a strong physique comes with being a hero. But with James Gunn, of course, in his efforts in saying, hey, we are going to prioritize our big three, right? Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman. We are going to prioritize that. We already got Superman. We're patiently waiting for Batman. And, of course, we're waiting for we have Supergirl, and then we're, of course, have Wonder Woman. Now, he did add Supergirl in the mix, so Supergirl is going to be, I guess, the big four in this DCU, so she'll have a key component in the future of it. But Wonder Woman, I mean, she's top dog when it comes to the ladies, man, and leading the Justice League and being a huge part of the Justice League and what they do. So, man, it's going to be pretty interesting. I think it is Wonder Woman. I think that something happens, whatever happens in Man of Tomorrow, maybe she doesn't play a huge part, but we will get an introduction to who our Wonder Woman is going to be. Now, I said they're looking for an actress in their late 20s, tall. you know, that narrows it down a little bit. You know, I know a lot of people talked about Anna de Armas as possibly Wonder Woman, which I don't think would be a terrible casting at all. I believe she's like my age, early 30s. So that's not a bad casting, but I'm really curious to see what they're gonna do here. Now, this couldn't be Wonder Woman; it could be other characters as well. So really no telling. But from the sound of that and the characteristics, what they're looking for, it does sure damn sounds like a Wonder Woman. But who knows, man? But let me know what you guys think of that down below. Are you excited for any of this news here, man? Possible Wonder Woman showing up, man, tomorrow. A Doctor Fate coming back. Lanterns being pushed back till after Supergirl. I wonder what the hell's going on with that. But, man, DCU is moving forward. I'm still excited despite the Lanterns news. I was pretty hot about that. It's just like, you know, I'm super excited for it, man. I thought that was going to be one of their better projects. I love the casting. And now that's being pushed back to after Supergirl. I'm sure it's for a good reason. So, hey, man, we got to trust in James Gunn and what he's doing. I've enjoyed it so far. But let me know what you guys think down below, man. And if you haven't got a chance to subscribe to the channel, please go ahead and subscribe for more Real Rumble, man. I got videos talking about movies, TV shows, do reviews. Come back and listen to me, man. I appreciate all the love. But until next time, guys, have a good day.